Hello everyone, welcome to the Economy Primer series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's topic is Finance Commission in India. And why this topic is into the discussion, because recently in newspaper we have read about that it's time to constitute 16th Finance Commission, and what were the prospect topic which should be covered in the 16th Finance Commission, and also who is going to chair the 16th Finance Commission. So that's why we have chosen this topic. And in prelims examination and mains examination, we have seen that repeatedly they had asked question related to the Finance Commission in India, whatever the Finance Commission going at that point of time. So recently the time period is of 15th Finance Commission. So we are also going to discuss that thing. So moving to the points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss that why this topic is into the discussion, then Finance Commission, then 15th Finance Commission, and then recommendation of the 15th Finance Commission and practice question for prelims and mains. So moving towards the discussion part. So these are the cutouts we have taken from the newspaper, and the first cutout says that government begins process of constituting 16th Finance Commission. So we had already discussed that this is the time where government experts and so many financial experts are discussing about this thing, and then new Finance Commission may tweak and may discuss about the relevant issues like SDGs, climate change and other things. And then what are the disaster relief fund for the 15th Finance Commission? We are going to discuss in further slides that what amount has been allocated for the disaster relief fund. And then freebies can lead to the fiscal disaster 15th Finance Commission chief. So the freebies formula, which are widely discussed in context of Delhi, because in Delhi the electricity and water is free up to some extent. So these kind of things are always into discussion, and so many economic experts have also discussed and debated about that we should provide services to our population in free or not. And recently we had also discussed about that women should get free metro ride in Delhi. So these things are always into discussion. So these are the economic terms which are very important for your prelims examination. Moving to the next slide, which is that what is Finance Commission. So this is the brief introduction of Finance Commission. So when it was formed, so it was formed in 1951, and then who has created the when Finance Commission was created. So it was created in 1951, and after that under which article it got established. So it got established in Article 280 of the Indian Constitution, and then Finance Commission is a constitutional body. So because it got established under a particular article, which is Article 280 of the Indian Constitution, and by President of India, so it is a constitutional body. And for the what is the main purpose of the Finance Commission? So its main purpose is the allocation of certain revenue resources. And what are the main functions of the Finance Commission? So the function is to make recommendation to the central government as well as the state government regarding their fund allocation and other financial policies they have. So its nature are very recommendatory in nature, not binding in nature, but it is it confirms the advisory role in the total function. And its another function is to net tax proceed distribution, and it will be divided between center and the states, and also between states and the states. And also it governs the grants in aid provided to different states and from the consolidated fund of the India. And here it is not just limited to the central government or state government, it also plays important role in the panchayats and different economic issues related to the village panchayats and nagar palikas. So in that way it has a very decentralized structure, and it promotes economic federalism in the country. So moving to the next slide. Next slide is about 15th Finance Commission. So whatever the time period is going on, it is 2023 until 2026. 15th Finance Commission will be the operational, and after that we can see the formulation of the 16th Finance Commission, and 16th Finance Commission will come to the operation, and their recommendation would be different, their advisory would be different. So we will see that thing in 2026, but right now whatever the recommendation given by the 15th Finance Commission, it is into the operation. So we already know that what is the time period of 15th Finance Commission. So it is from 5 years, from 2021 to 2026. And who is the chair of the 15th Finance Commission? So Mr. N.K. Singh is the chair of the 15th Finance Commission. And what recommendations it has made? So when it comes to the share of states in the central taxes. So earlier it was in 14th Finance Commission 42%, but right now it is 41%. And why it is less 41%? Because 1% has been allocated to the recently made Union Territory, which is Jammu and Kashmir. So this is the structure and this is the recommendation given by the 15th Finance Commission. We have more recommendation also. So this is a criteria of devolution. So here there is a structure of tax devolution. It means that what kind of recommendation provided to the different tax structure and how it can be pooled from the central taxes to the state taxes. So here we have a data of income distance. We'll discuss all these topic in further slides, that what is income distance. And in this Finance Commission we have taken data of 2011 because this is the recent data census we have, and based on the 2011 census, 15th Finance Commission has given few recommendations. And here we can see that what is the devolution structure. So from 10 it has become 15. So here there is a comparison between 14th Finance Commission and 15th Finance Commission, and it has increased by 15. So this is a devolution structure. Similarly, we have in terms of income distance, earlier it was 50, right now we have 45. So this is the structure. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about what other recommendation it has given. So first we'll discuss about the income distance. And what is income distance? So it is a distance of state's income from the state with the highest income. So suppose that if we are taking an example, if Bihar has a lowest state income and Kerala has the highest state income, so the difference between is called as the income distance. And we have also the second term, which is demographic performance. So the terms of reference of the commission required to use the population data of 2011. We had discussed that 2011 population data is the latest data we have, and on the basis of all these different rewards would be given to the state, that if some state has a huge or good control on the population, the state will be rewarded in a different manner. On the other hand, the states are also rewarded who has given the good performance in terms of the lower fertility, because India is a very populous country and it has become the first populous country, largest populous country of the world. So in that sense, such kind of recommendations are very much important to control the population, because that has another impact on the economy. And forest and ecology also. So all these rewards would be given with a different criteria. The first criteria is the population, that those states who has a good control on the population, they are rewarded. And then the fertility ratio is another criteria. Then forest and ecology is also a criteria. The states who have performed good in the forest and ecological factors, they are also rewarded. And tax and fiscal efforts. So the states will be given more priority who have given a good structure for the tax collection in the states. So these are the criterias for the demographic performance. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is about that what they have made recommendation in terms of the grants. So we already know that period consists of 2021 to 2026, and in coming to the revenue deficit grants, 17 states will receive grants of 2.9 lakh crore. And sector specific grants. So what are the sectors Finance Commission has paid attention to? So we have health, school education, higher education, implementation of agriculture reform statistics, maintenance of PMGSY aspirational district. What all these say that all these factors are very much important for the inclusive development and financial inclusion. So the 15th Finance Commission has made recommendation to such things, and it has given grants to the sector specific, and for all these sector it has allocated rupees 1.3 lakh crore. And coming to the state specific grants, so the commission has recommended that it should be given 49,599 crore for the various sectors, just like the social needs, administrative governance, infrastructure, water and sanitation. And these are the basic requirements of any human population, and these will help to raise the standard of living. So other recommendation we'll also discuss. So what are the other recommendation? We have grants to local bodies. As I have told you, this is not just limited to the central government, state government, it has also expanded itself to the local bodies. And what kind of recommendation it has made in terms of the local bodies? So the total grant of rupees 4.36 lakh crore has been given to the local bodies, and among them also they have a different grant structure for the rural areas. They have given rupees 2.4 lakh crore for the rural bodies and rupees 1.2 lakh crore for the urban local bodies, and remaining 70,051 crore for the health grants through local governments. So what we have seen that the recommendation has paid so much attention to the health, normal facilities, sanitation, which are the basic needs of any citizen of this country and which are highly lagged, and we have seen that so many human population lag even the basic amenities of the life. And disaster risk management, we have discussed that they had paid attention to the disaster risk, and India is a country which are very much vulnerable to various disasters. We have seen floods in Sikkim, right now in Tamil Nadu. So for all these things they had to pay attention on disaster management also, and they had suggested that it should be cost sharing. It means that the cost sharing should be between center and the state, and here they had not made any drastic changes. It was existing in nature whatever we had earlier structure. It means that for northeastern Himalaya state it is 90:10 ratio, and for other state it is 75:25 ratio, and this is 90 belongs to the center share and 10 belongs to the state share, and here also 75 belongs to the center share and 25 belongs to the state share. And state disaster management funds will have a corpus of rupees 1.6 lakh crore. Center share is rupees 1.2 lakh crore. So these are the recommendation and amount decided by the 15th Finance Commission. Moving to the other recommendation, that what are the fiscal roadmap it has decided. So in terms of the fiscal deficit and debt levels, so the commission has decided that center will bring fiscal down by 4% of the GDP by 2025 to 2026. And in terms of states, it has recommended different things for a different time period. For 21-22 it has recommended 4%, after that 3.5%, and for this period which is ongoing 2023 to 2026 it has recommended 3%. So what we have seen that here the government is removing the burden on state, and it has devaluated and it has decentralized the things. And if any state is unable to utilize all the borrowing structure, they can utilize later also. So these kind of facilities has been also recommended by the 15th Finance Commission. Coming to the revenue mobilization, so income and asset based taxation are promoted, and they had said that the state should much given focus on the income, and they should also not much dependent on the direct income taxes and other taxes. They should also promote tax deduction scheme and collection at sources just like TDS and TCS. So all these schemes should be expanded so that the economy of any state should be expanded. On the other hand, they had also promoted the GST structure, that more states should collect revenue under this structure, and they had also recommended that all these 12 to 18% should be combined, and they had decided the rate structure. Moving to the next slide, which is about financial management practices. So the recommendation has been given that there should be a need of an independent fiscal council established between center and state, and that will look over the state finances also and also the central finances, and they have this right that they should know that what kind of finances they have, and this should be an independent body, and their role should be only advisory in nature, not binding in nature. And they had also paid attention to that there should be the funding for defense and internal security, and it has allocated rupees 2.4 lakh crore for the 5 years, which is 2021 to 2026. And among all these 2.5 lakh crore, 1.5 lakh crore will be transferred from the consolidated fund of India, and rest for the disinvestment defense public sector. So these are the recommendations made by it. And centrally sponsored schemes, so it has decided that there should be a threshold for the centrally sponsored scheme. It means that which is sponsored directly by the center, so there should be a threshold decided that center should invest into this manner, and up to this extent center will only invest, and rest it will be managed by the state. So the threshold is very much needed so that there will be the balance between state and the center finances. So moving to the next slide, which is practice question for prelims. What is the primary mandate of 15th Finance Commission in India? And your options are redrawing electoral constituency based on the population changes. The B is allocating resources among state based on the population and fiscal performance. C is implementing tax reform to boost the national economy, regulating financial institution for the fiscal stability. So kindly answer in the comment section. Moving to the main side, which is examine the key recommendations and challenges posed by the 15th Finance Commission in India, discuss the implications of these recommendations on fiscal federalism. As we already had discussed that Finance Commission is very much needed into the country like India, where the structure is federal in nature, and here we have a unitary form of government, but along with the unitary form we have also the federal structure, and here we have to also listen the mandate of the state, and each state have a different kind of unique financial problem. So for these all circumstances, Finance Commission is very much needed, that it could analyze the different problems of different states, and it can allocate fund, and it can make recommendation according to the peculiar problems of different states. So for all these perspective, Finance Commission is very much needed in India, and it is very significant for the Indian economy. On the other hand, there are a few challenges. The first challenge is that lack of adequate data and outdated data, because as we have discussed that it has used the data of census 2011 and it's been 13 years. So the data has become outdated, and in last 12 to 13 years, the demand of the population, their economic criteria, their devaluation, everything has changed. So that is very inadequate in nature. On the other hand, their role is only advisory in nature. They don't have any binding roles. So whatever they are recommended, it is with the central government and state government that they are following or not. Most of the times their recommendations are followed, but since their role is advisory, so if they will not even follow, they will be not face any penalties and punishment for that. So this is another kind of loophole we have. On the other hand, we have seen that so many things have elected that poorer states are getting more attention to it, but what we have seen that there is a reward system into it, that if you have a good control on population, your share will be increased. But this thing is not much suitable for in case of India, because each state have a different kind of problem, and in span of 5 years they could not made any drastic changes which should bring drastic changes in the economy. So they should be very careful to dealing with each other states, and there should be a depth study for each state and their financial problem, and there should be more programs related to the financial inclusion. Here the financial inclusion program is missing, and they have given the recommendation. They have also recommended central state that you should pay attention to the poorest states, but that should be implemented very thoroughly, and we have seen that there is a faulty implementation of the recommendation of the 15th Finance Commission. So in that scenario, these kind of things must be cared. I hope you like this lecture. If you have any query related to this lecture, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.